So hi, I'm Heather Hunley with LookUp Indiana, and today I'm here with Christopher Miller of Crisscross the Nation. Chris, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
So I'm sure that you are kind of in countdown mode for your upcoming journey, but for those of us that aren't familiar, what is Crisscross the Nation?
So Crisscross the Nation is a 5-month-long, 3,000-mile run across America to promote long-term recovery in the United States and to rally around people in recovery.
So 3,000 miles of run. Is this you running alone? Is this a group of people?
Yeah, so originally the plan was for me to do a solo run across the United States. And I showed the idea to some close family members and some friends. And so now I have a support crew going with me.
Okay.
I'll be crossing Pennsylvania more or less by myself. The majority of Pennsylvania I'll be by myself, but the rest of the journey I'll be with a support team.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you have said, and I'm reading this quote on your website, through the simplicity and purity of running, Crisscross the Nation will build a platform on which stories of hope and positive impact are told by individuals, communities, and organizations to spark a new conversation about addiction and influence a perception shift in our culture. So you and I were chatting briefly before, and I shared that our tagline is start the conversation and silence the stigma. And so you really caught our attention when we read, that you want to spark a new conversation about addiction and influence a perception shift. How would you describe the perception about addiction in our culture today?
Well, I think in general it's brushed under the rug. So it's still this taboo. It's when people talk about it a lot of times I think it's awkward to speak about it, especially in public. So maybe when you're speaking about it with close friends or family, it's the conversation is more natural, but definitely in public it's still kind of taboo to talk about it. Yeah.
How would you want maybe it's obvious, but how would you want that conversation to change?
Well, addiction is a disease, and it's something that can be treated. So I think that I would like to see people talk about it more openly, with more of like a progressive outlook. So a way of figuring out ways to maybe solve the problems that we're dealing with today.
Yeah, so something that a good example we like to use here is that, if you have cancer, you say you're not ashamed that you have cancer. It's a terrible disease. And you might ask for support, ask for prayers, join support groups, and everyone's going to rally around and support you.
Yeah.
But with mental illness and with addiction, which is a brain disease, it's more something that even your own close friends and family might not know about you because you're afraid to share.
Yeah, I think there's a tremendous amount of shame in seeking treatment, and I think it all revolves around the stigma, the negative stigma. So, my vision is really promoting more of more support within the community, because I think that we're going to see a higher success rate if the community as a whole is supportive.
Absolutely.
So
all this kind of conversation makes me think that most of us have been impacted by mental health conditions in our lives, whether personally or close friends or family. So I'm wondering, if you've personally been impacted by addiction, and we know that sharing our stories can be healing, and this conversation, talking about it, is normalizing it. Is there anything about your story you'd like to share?
Yeah, so growing up, I had a very close loved one struggle with alcoholism, childhood, adolescence, and into my adulthood. So I saw the effects that it had on family and on friends and on me personally. And I also kind of witnessed the timeline. It was about a 15-year timeline. And in the beginning, it seemed normal. But there came a point of no return, and there was a tremendous amount of hopelessness at that moment, because nobody, family, friends, the person struggling with alcoholism, nobody really had control of it. It kind of became its something of its. It became its own thing, and that's when the downward spiral occurred. So, witnessing that, it's just kind of it inspired me to do something about it, because I think there are solutions out there, and I there's hope. There definitely is hope. We need to encourage people to seek treatment. I believe in recovery. I believe in the recovery movement. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So, one of my questions was, how have your past experiences, both good and bad, prepared you for this next phase of your journey? And you answered a little of that just now. How has this played out for you in running?
Okay. Well, but to answer the original question, I think, my past experiences, especially like with the Peace Corps, it really taught me to let go and not necessarily have the security that I knew what was going to happen next. So let go and just have faith that everything was going to work out. Running has always been. I've been a runner since I was 12 years old. I went out for the cross country team at Summit Middle School, and I've run ever since.
Okay.
So running for me has always been that anchor. It's always been that thing that I could turn to, and it made me feel okay, no matter what. So
You always had it.
I always had that. Yeah, and so it was this this one thing in life that helped me move forward.
Literally and figuratively, right?
Literally and figuratively, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if we want to get out on the road and run a few miles with you, is that possible?
Yeah. So if you go to my website, www.crisscrossthenation.com, you can go to the section that says route, and there I've made 149 routes.
Okay.
So one route for each day, and you can click on the day that of your liking, and you'll be able to see the route, the street by street route. So I made the entire route from. I started in Liberty State Park, New Jersey, and I end in Venice Beach, California. And I made the route using Map My Run.
Okay.
So, and it's great because you can, with Google Street View, you can see the streets and see where you'll be running.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a start time and stop time for each day, or how will people find you on that route?
That's an interesting. Yeah, I've never thought about that. I plan on starting pretty early in the morning, especially now to avoid the heat.
Sure.
So I'll probably start at 5 in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning, and I plan on dividing up my runs into. I plan on doing 2 a days. So one run in the morning and probably one run later in the afternoon.
Okay.
Because I think that way my body will be able to handle the impact of the miles better. And it'll give me a break midday.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I plan on being on the road, dedicating 7 to 8 hours a day to that, to running.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can people, if we're not a runner, how can we support you in this journey?
Yeah, I've received a lot of emails asking that question, and I always respond, well, what are you interested in? How do you want to get involved? I have someone sending me care packages, which I thought with like Cliff Bars and protein and like running gels and stuff like that. Promoting our message, so putting our website on your social media links, on Facebook or Instagram,
You have hashtag #SeeChrisRun.
Yeah, the
Okay.
hashtag is #SeeChrisRun.
Okay.
And yeah, just sharing it with friends. So.
Okay. Great. Well, I know that we at LookUp want to start highlighting individuals and people that are starting this conversation. So you are the first one
Okay.
for us
Feel
to interview
honored.
for that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
As part of kind of this little, here's a LookUp t-shirt, and it
Okay.
has our logo on the back, the whole Start the Conversation, Silence the Stigma. So
Okay.
I know it's not running gear, but
No,
if you
this
want
is
to
great. That's
wear that
great.
at some point,
Yeah.
we would appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I'll wear this on the road.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Thank you. So, are there any final thoughts you want to leave with us?
Well, I want to thank you for having me on the show, and I want to encourage people to check out our Instagram, at Crisscross the Nation, and also our Facebook page, at Crisscross the Nation, and the website as well, www.crisscrossthenation.com.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll be cheering you on.
Thank you.